Morning, Dean. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Will. Yourself?
I'm well. What can you tell us about how the guys came out of the match on Wednesday from an availability standpoint?
Yeah, everybody came through it okay. We came in yesterday. We done a recovery session. The players who didn't start done a good training session. So, yeah, everybody's in a good place to be available for selection tomorrow.
I know you had mentioned that, this is probably going to be something where you still go for it. There's still plenty to play for. Do you at least make more conscious or cognizant decisions knowing that maybe guys maybe have a shorter leash on them, knowing what could be ahead?
No, not really. After this game, we've got another 2 weeks until our next game. So, we can go for everything tomorrow and throw everything at it and try and get the win and keep us, trying to get that fourth place. As I said, after the game on Wednesday, somebody may take that away from us, and well done to them if they do. But that's got to be our aim going into this game.
What was the moment you realized you had something with this offensive attack, the way that they've been playing here recently?
I think the connections we've been getting in training had been really good. Some of the interplay between the front three had been good. We've been getting our eights arriving into the opposite penalty box as well, and we've just been causing the opposition problems. But it always takes time. Pep's only been here, 6 or 7 games. Swiderski's been back in. He knows us, but it took him a while to get going. So sometimes it takes that, and our subs have come on and done really well as well. And I think that competition that we've got at the moment has been healthy and has helped us.
How much does having 2 games out of the last 3 like you've had, help guys on the bench realize there's almost kind of a feeling like the goal is as big as the state of Montana, that kind of thing?
I just think at the moment the players can see the finish line. There's not too many games left. We've got 2 regular season games left, and then it's the playoffs. So they're excited for that. But when you see the end line, there's an excitement that comes with it as well of what you can go and achieve. And I think that's what's giving the lads a lift at the moment.
I know that it's a couple of weeks away, but what do you think about the format of, being able to play a 3-game series, and what kind of advantage does that bring to you, knowing that you at least have 1 home game in your stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I've not done it before, so until I've done it, I probably can't tell you. It will be certainly nice to have a home game. The playoff format I've been used to is, the highest seeded team would play away first, and then the next game is at home. And if it's level, or the aggregate is level, then it goes to extra time and then penalties. But obviously this is different. It can go to a 3rd game and penalties. So it's going to be a new experience for me.
Is seeing Montreal a second time, having seen them so recently, is that a help, or given the way they played, is that a hindrance perhaps?
No, it's a help. I know about them. I know their players because it's been so recent that we played against them. We didn't start again. We gave 2 really poor goals away against them. They're a good footballing team. They keep the ball well. They're well coached in terms of how they want to build. But our job is to find the weaknesses.
What will it mean also to have, a final home weeknight, or home weekend night, I should say, with an upper deck building and have the fans in there for a almost kind of an end of regular season type party?
Yeah, no, it'd be great, but we want the result with it to send them home happy, and everybody, certainly with the international break coming up, with a little bit of a spring in our step going into DC. But we know we have to be right because, we found out the other side of it by going to Montreal and finding ourselves 2-0 down early on, and we can't, give the goals away like we did there last time.
Thank you, Dean.
Cheers, mate.
All right, let's go, Jorge.
Good morning, Dean. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good. I just wanted to expand a little bit on Montreal. Obviously, like you mentioned last time, tough game for you. In this one, from an approach standpoint, maybe what did you learn from that team going into this match now that you play them again?
I think, they haven't changed too much. We haven't changed too much, to be honest, from that game. The goals we gave away were really poor on the day. I don't think we'll be giving up goals like that again. We've certainly talked about that and worked on that. I've reflected on the goals and analysed the goals that we gave away against, or the last two goals the other day. I thought their first goal was fortunate. On Wednesday, a deflected cross that ends up to a lad who loops a header into the far corner. There's a bit of fortune with that, and there's certainly a lot of fortune with the other two goals. And probably a miss officiating from VAR as well. But we'll leave that behind. But going into the Montreal game, we know what they're capable of. But the most important thing for me is we know what we're capable of as well, and we know we let ourselves down there.
Nice. And then, if I heard you correctly, given that there will be a bye week or international break next week, there's a good chance that we could see the same lineup that you've been playing that's been so successful these last couple of games. Is that correct?
Yeah, possibly. We've got players who are pushing for the start. As I say, the lads who started yesterday just done a recovery, so it'll be my first eyes on them on the grass today, just to see if they're fully recovered and whether they've got 90 minutes in them or they're able to start. And that's a decision I'll make after training today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
All right, Steve.
Good morning, Dean.
Morning, Steve.
I saw that Jamie had some fun with the photo of you and some guy in Miami on the internet today that was very popular with Villa fans. Have you seen that?
I have seen the photo. Yeah, he sent it me. I haven't seen the social media bit, to be honest. No.
In a rough polling, it's like everybody's calling Messi and the GOAT.
Okay.
With that, and it seems like a lot of people are going to be framing that one as well. Going back to the first goal on Wednesday, in the first season, Charlotte put together a great goal. It had some like 20 touches before it ended up in the net, and it was quite a great team goal. But this one, the interaction between Junior Urso and Biel, and then Biel and Carroll, I could watch it over. Well, actually, I did watch it over and over again. It was just a beautiful team goal. And with that, in training, sometimes, when you're going through these things and shadow play and stuff, you get situations where even a team reacts, like with a wow factor to something that just happened. Has that been happening in training with y'all, to where, some of the goals they're scoring in practice have impressed even the players with how they constructed it?
Yeah, I think, like I said again on Wednesday, you have to build relationships, you have to understand movements and what players like and what they don't like. And I think the more you train together, the better that becomes, them relationships and the understanding. What we know we've brought into the team, and I said that when the window finished, was I feel we've got more quality in it. We didn't show it in the first 2 or 3 games. We've started to show it in the last 3 games, where we've found a system and a bit of rhythm and some fluidity. And I think that goal was a bit of that fluidity that you saw.
Yeah, it was marvelous. I can't stop smiling when I think of that one, and also just the play of Carroll and Pep, who were in dangerous places and creating danger for the opposition throughout the match. Not just the 2 goals for Carroll, but he had a number of opportunities that were there, which is kind of a reemergence of his capabilities for the squad.
Yeah, no, it's really pleasing, especially for Carroll to, if you look at it and he'll look back, he could have scored 4 on Wednesday night. He's had the chance that's come back off the bar. He's had the chance from Leo Labarda's cross that the keeper saved with his feet. He scored the 2 goals. Pep's hit the bar. He's had the chance where he's bent one wide. So we're creating an awful lot more opportunities, and that's the understanding of the players now.
Yeah, and that's when the law of averages hopefully catches up with you as well, and more of those opportunities do go in. But it has to be a very optimistic time for the squad with that kind of performance.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the scoreline was the disappointing part. It wasn't a 4-3 game. It should have finished 4-1, if not 5 or 6-1. But unfortunately, I've looked at the goals against, and I can't put our lads at fault for them. Unfortunately, there were errors. That we had no control under. Lads put a 30-yard shot at the end of it. It's one of them things. So you just have to get on with it.
Yeah, the questions are in the build-up to that, but that shot was just a smacker.
Yeah.
With that, and for an American former national team player, that's not always a bad thing to see.
No.
But just with that, the optimism of the coaching staff as well. Do you feel that all your hard work is coming to fruition now?
No, there's still a long way to go. Obviously, I know we haven't got too many games, but we always believed that we would be a playoff team. We want to try and get into the top 4 still. I think that would be a big leap for us if we could do that. But the journey's still a long way to go. So there's an excitement there and an optimism, but we know we've still got to work hard.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, John Lane.
Hey, morning, Dean.
Morning.
The international break has been brought up a couple of times already today. How do you keep momentum with that long break? And if you advance in the playoffs, there's even another one between rounds, the first and second round. It's been a little bit of a challenge recently coming out of these long breaks. How are you all looking to keep momentum?
Well, we've got 5 or 6 players that go on international duty, so it's certainly not a break for them. But for the others, it's an international period where we've got to make sure that we're still learning from what we've done before, making sure we're looking to improve. They will get some days of rest, but we have to make sure that we work that period so we come back stronger. I think if you go into it, on the back of a win again, then all of a sudden you're unbeaten in 4 and 3 wins out of 4. I think that momentum will carry through anyway, and that's something that we'll be stressing to the players.
Yeah, and outside of 3 points, is there anything specific that you're wanting to see from the team against Montreal tomorrow, or is it just continuing to build on more of the same?
Yeah, no, we've got to defend well because they build up really well. I said before, they're very similar to Columbus, how they build. So we can't get drawn out and keep jumping because they'll find their spare man in behind the lines. So it's really important that we defend well. But I want to see us, control the ball a little bit better.
All right, thanks, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, we'll end it with Nick.
Hey, Coach. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Nick. You?
Doing well, thanks. So, what is the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome this season as a coach?
Very good question. Biggest challenge? I think there's been lots of similar challenges rather than one big challenge. I think I said at the start that the mentality of going away and getting points, that was a big thing for me. I just felt that there was a mentality where, it's hard to get points on the road. We've got to travel 3 hours, 2 hours. There's a time difference, there's different temperatures, different climates. But, I still believe you're in the, wherever you go to, you're there for, 24 hours before you play. So there's enough time to get ready for that game. And I think, I feel that we could have picked up a lot more points on the road than we have done this season.
And then also, thoughts on extending Kalina's contract. What is it like for you as a coach when you see or know that player is going to be there for an extended time? And do you see something different in that player once, whether they're playing in their final kind of contract season or they just got an extension? Do you notice different things about them?
No, not really, because my eyes have been fresh eyes this season coming into the club. So, and looking at the team and the squad of players, And you look at the 3 players who've just signed extensions in Westwood, Byrne, and Kalina. They've been very consistent. They've played most of the games, and that just tells you, that as a club you need some consistency. They're the players that are regularly giving you 7 out of 10s, and you can build a squad around that, and that's what we're looking to do.